Hi guys, this is the lessons for week 9, day 1. I cannot believe we're already on week 9. It's crazy. And so we're going to get started talking a little bit about what we did today. We are moving on to a little bit of poetry and just working on the structural analysis. So I know a lot of times we associate poetry directly with figurative language. But we're going to hold off on figurative language for right now, and we are going to move towards more of how a poem is written, how a poem, conveys theme and the stanzas and the rhyme scheme. And so that's kind of the focus that we have for today. So if we go to our modules, we have, our lessons and homework for the week. So basically we're working on poetic structure for the entire week. We're doing a paradox today, and then we are doing paraphrase, rhyme scheme, stanzas, all that good stuff. And then this is due by Wednesday. So make sure that that gets done, and then no writing is due Friday. And so I'm going to take you through the paradox that we did during class today and kind of go through it with you. And so this is a thumbs up, thumbs down activity that we did. So I'm just going to do it with you, give you some seconds to think, and move on. So thumbs up if it's true, thumbs down if it's false. So poetry is organized into sections called stanzas. True. They are called stanzas. They are the paragraphs of poetry. All poem must rhyme. False. There is two types of poetry. There's traditional poetry, which does rhyme, and there's free verse poetry, which has a lot less rules. So all poetry does not have to rhyme. Poetry can have internal and end rhyme. That is true. Internal rhyme is rhyme within a sentence, and rhyme is the rhyme patterns at the very end of lines. Sometimes words and phrases are repeated in poetry for emphasis and effect. True, and that is called repetition. They repeat things in order to show that they are important, that they want you to really remember that that's one part that gets stuck in your head. Next one, poetry is written the exact same way as literary or informational text. That is false, even though it could have a plot and it could be fictional, or it could be a true story, it could be a biography of someone's life. The format and the structure of how it's written is a lot different than in your typical literary or informational text. The last one, poetry can express feelings and emotions, tell stories, or teach lessons. That is true. That is the whole part of poetry, to express feelings in order to tell a story in a different way that's more abstract, or to teach us a lesson about life, the theme. This is an example of a lyric poem. Lyric poems sound a little bit more like music, but their whole goal is to show an emotion rather than tell a story. So it could show love, anguish, regret. So I'm going to read it to you and I want you to think, what does this poem mean? So dreams. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when they go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. So take a couple seconds. What do you think this poem means? What emotion stands out to you? Remember, dreams are not an emotion. If you said sadness, I understand why, because it talks about what happens if you cannot succeed your dreams. But I also think a little bit of like hopeful and wishful, because I think that, there's a little bit of childhood like dreams when you have like all these big dreams of being a doctor or a dream of being a firefighter. And if you hold on to those dreams and you actually see them through, you can be successful, because if you let them die, you cannot fly. Repetition is another one. It's the ones that are repeated in they're repeated for emphasis or phrases. So look at this one with the student example. The best kinds of people are warm and kind. They are always there and they never mind. The best kinds of people smile and embrace. They support you with strength and grace. So you kind of see that repetition going over and over again, because what they want you to focus on is the best kinds of people. This is a video on rhyme. This will be posted for you, and I tell you all about rhyme and rhyme scheme that you need to watch. But rhyme scheme, just to get you kind of acquainted, because I do want you to watch that video, it is the end rhyme patterns within a stanza. So if it rhymes, it has the same letter, and we always start with A, so ham and am. The moment that there's a word at the end that does not rhyme, you go to the next letter in the alphabet, which would be B. So boat and goat rhyme, same with house and mouse. So you keep going down the alphabet until it doesn't rhyme. So what's the rhyme scheme of this poem? We're just going to do this part of the stanza. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. So let's look at it. Does crow and me rhyme? No. Does crow and snow rhyme? Yes. Does me and tree? Yes. So the answer for the rhyme scheme would then be A, B, A, B. Internal rhyme is rhyme within a sentence. So I drove myself to the lake and dove into the water. What two words rhyme within that sentence? Good, drove and dove. Same thing with the next one. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary. What two words rhyme within the sentence? Good, dreary and weary. Speaker versus the poet. Now the poet is just the writer. It's the author of the poet. And just like in literary works, we have to focus on the narrator. In poetry, it's called the speaker, okay? So when you read the poem, Life Doesn't Frighten Me, you close your eyes, you got to think about you as the speaker being a 5-year-old little girl scared of the dark. Okay? And then when you want, I want you to read this poem and think of the theme of that as well on your own time. Okay, so the last thing you need to do in your modules is your assignment, which is called Life Doesn't Frighten Me Structure Assignment. Right there. And what you do is that you have to fill out the rhyme scheme. You have to tell me what stanza number it is, and then you have to paraphrase it. If you're struggling with the meaning of the poem, I have put a link on there to help you guys a little bit down. Make sure you read the directions. It wants you to do the rhyme scheme. The verse is done for you. Number the stanza, and then tell me what those stanzas mean. If you have any questions, just let me know. Have a great day, guys.